Hello everyone, so in today's training video we're going to see some telehandler operations. What we're going to do is we're going to load some wheat into the trailer there and then load some big bags on this bale loader. Okay, so as you can see we have different types of big bags. Those are the default one, and I will admit I'm not used to them because I'm using the real Stig one. Let me show you what they are. So it's the realistic seed fruit types, which means that each pallet that you buy will contain only that fruit. If you buy this one, it's only wheat seed, barley seed, etc. And in our case we are using the big bag version. So there are two types of them. The one with the smaller gap here and the one with the bigger. I'm using usually use the one with the bigger, this one. Okay, so you will see how you can lift it without any problem, but first we will practice with this one. I say practice because, like I said, I don't use them. So let's get into the telehandler. There you go. Just adjust my track IR. Okay, so basic operations first. Of course, you always want to put your beacon on before operating. Make sure that okay, you're clear. And now you don't have a tool attached, so you can practically leave the boom like it is. Why? It's because there's not much extending in front. But once you attach a tool, I will show you the proper traveling position. And then we're going to be covering a few basics before actually performing some telehandler operations. So first thing is, even if you have manual attached, here with those tools you don't need to get outside. You kind of just connect them. Should get the prompt. If you don't just press, sometimes it appears, sometimes it doesn't. Now that we have an implement attached, the proper traveling position is you kind of lift the arm enough so that you can see to your left, and you tilt upward whatever implement you're carrying. And as you can see, my beacon is on. And then of course to make sure everything is clear, and then you reverse. And of course before reversing you put into reverse gear. So now what I'm gonna show you is everything I'm gonna explain here you can do with any telehandler. So if you don't like this one, you can use any telehandler. So just once you've attached, somehow you've managed to attach the implement, the tool, whatever it's called, just lower it. Let me see if I have enough distance. No. For what I want to demonstrate I need a little bit more distance, so let's come here, put your, and just detach it. Okay, and already as you can see on this shovel here you have 3 rings, one here, one here, one here, rings or oval, and it's exactly in the center. So you already have an idea when sitting in the telehandler, like so. You make sure your view is centered. If you are track IR, this is the side picture you need to have to know where the center of the arm, not of the telehandler itself, but where the center of the arm is in relation to your particular telehandler. Okay, why is it so? It's because sometimes you will have the arm up, or the boom, whatever it's called, but you still need to kind of put the telehandler centered with something, isn't it? So here the reference point in this particular telehandler is like if I sit normally, straighten my view, it's kind of more or less, of course when I'm reaching for my mouse it's gonna change, but it kind of aligns with what looks like a V shape. If you move the steering wheel, it will still have that V shape here, so let me put my mouse where it is, and of course when I'm moving it's gonna change, but you see what I mean. So it's just aligned with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna detach the implement, move a little bit around, okay, let me get rid of the mouse, and no matter where I go, I know that, for example, here, even if the arm is up, first thing is I align the center straight down with the, and of course the closer I get, the more adjustment I can make. That's one thing. And second thing is you can also use this part of the dashboard and see if it's parallel with whatever is in front of you, so you know you're coming straight in. Okay, so that's how you know if you are approaching centered or not. So let's go back and attach our shovel. Because as you know, when operating with the telehandler, sometimes you will have the implement lifted up as indicated before with the traveling position. So here, more or less, then you just lower the and attach it, lift it, tilt it up, traveling position, make sure, I always forget to put the reverse gear, and there we go. Let's load some wheat into the trailer. Of course, when moving around the farm, you have to make sure that the tool or implement is not touching anything. So here, once again, with this particular telehandler, you're not going to purchase 1000 telehandlers. You have one telehandler, unless you are super rich, then probably you're not playing in a realistic way, unless you've spent already 20 years in the playthrough. But you will have your telehandler, and you will have your trailer or trailers, and most of the time will be of the same type, or two different, maybe even three different types. But the more you use them, the more familiar you will become with them. That's one thing. And second thing is why we have to find all those reference points, probably did not mention in the earlier videos. It's because in real life you don't really use reference points that much, because the perception of depth, I mean, in real life it's real life. Here you're looking at supposedly 3D world, but on a flat screen, so perception of depth is different. So let's pick some wheat. What you don't want to do is to lower, unless it's exactly on the ground, but here, as you can see, there is some kind of cement in front. If you lower it until, just slightly, until it kind of lifts, and when you drive, in this particular case, because of that building, what will happen is I might get, and I do get, stuck. So that's why you were in this position first, isn't it? You approach, now you know that there is nothing you're gonna hit in front of you, because you've reached your working place. You put the boom or the arm all the way down. You can lower the tool slightly as soon as start to kind of move the telehandler upward. Then you just come in, and once you've collected your material, you'll lift the shovel, in this case, up, and you lift into your traveling position. Okay, making sure you don't hit anything. Now we're gonna load that particular trailer. Make sure you're not hitting anything. So first, of course, you need to make sure that the cover has been removed if it is wound with cover. And now, as you can see, the shovel is up. The arm or boom, whatever it's called, is up. The shovel is up. I could have used the center ring here, but that's why we found a handy little reference point on our telehandler itself. So you can use any reference points on the particular telehandler you're using, so that I come right in the center of that trailer. Now if it's a longer trailer, you can use cut it like in half, okay, and then move to the front half and then move to the back half, so that you kind of fill the trailer equally. Now as I'm getting closer, I want to lift that shovel up to a certain point. I will get to that, but first let's get here. That's my first reference point. I don't want to get any closer. You probably already noticed it. I'm aligning this part of the protection grill or whatever it's called with the top of the trailer, of course when I'm not reaching for my mouse. And now next step is I will kind of raise and kind of tilt the shovel in front. Don't worry, it's still not gonna tilt until I can see that metal part, okay? And metal part will kind of disappear like this, okay? When it disappears, with that I can move forward. Now you don't want to run into the trailer, and when I reach that lower part of the trailer with my same bar here, like I said, I use this trailer almost all the time, so if I use another trailer I will find other reference point. And now you can't just lower because you won't be in position, so you need to extend the arm, and as soon as the metal part appears again, there it is, metal part appears, you can of course slowly tilt, and there you go. Okay, did not spill anything. It's exactly where it needs to be. So using the same approach, and of course when backing up, you first raise your implement and then contract the arm, drive backwards, of course making sure nothing. Now I'm at the safe distance. Can lower, get to the traveling position ideally, unless you're sure there's nothing just to speed up the farm work. But of course usually you will be doing this much quicker here because I'm talking and explaining and everything. Let's do another. Okay, down, just have it as it slits up. You kind of come in and take, there you go. We kind of tend to combine the movements. So it does not matter which telehandler you're using, it's the same approach. You find your reference points and then you can kind of work on them properly. So here, lift until a lower metal part appears, lift, drive forward, extend until metal part appears on the top, and drop. There you go. So find your reference points for your particular telehandler and you should be fine. Now if I myself choose another telehandler or a different trailer, I will find my new reference points, and like I said, I don't change trailers or telehandler every now and then. So That's one thing covered. Now let's do some big bag loading. So I will explain to you the approach for the default bags, but like I said, I'm using those one in the middle. I will show you how you can load them, because you can't use the in-game I would say this pallet fork for this. You have to use you're already seeing it on the left, the red one. This is what I will use to load. So here you come, just for the sake of, you kind of have your side picture, it's centered. Okay, now one thing I kind of maybe should mention. Of course, it's going to be, because we're sitting on the left, you have to put the reference point to the right when you are at a distance, because when you approach, and if you are already parallel with the implement, as you can see, when you approach little by little, that reference point is then going to be aligned with the center. So if it was already centered before, now you go. Okay, the more I come closer, now it's aligned. Okay, now I can just maybe move a little bit forward. There you go, that's the sweet spot. Now that I have an implement, in this case the pallet fork, I will explain something very useful. You kind of raise it eye level, and you can already see that it's upward. Now it's downward. If you want to put it like horizontal, have a side picture, maybe because of the brown background here. You should get used to all the backgrounds anyway, but let's use this one maybe. Okay, so I have that side picture. It might seem that it's pointing downwards, but based on I align it with the mirror here, that part of the implement, and then when I have that side picture, it is more or less, does not have to be exact, just going to external view just to show you. There it is more or less horizontal. So even if you kind of course when you're lifting the bags, then you can put it in the position, and then when you have that side picture again, okay, they are more or less horizontal. Okay, so I will try. Like I said, I don't use those default big bags normally because they are small, and they don't serve my realistic playthrough. So here, that's all the way it will go, and here it's all the way inside the width, the minimum, that's the maximum. So I've done a little test before, just before making the video. So it seems like if I put the how to say this, the fork, the left one, look at the left one, just past. Now you see a bit of the sky here. Just when you don't see that part of the sky, just like this, just a little bit, and then play with this, play with it around, because it's really, I don't know if it's the physics or whatnot, but or maybe because I'm not used to those little big bags, but the theory is the same. You kind of want to approach with your telehandlers the reference point slightly to the right, so that the closer you move, it will align with the center. That's the first step. Second step is you need to at some point grab those babies, so that's where I struggle a little bit. Now more or less you have to see a little bit of the green top of the handle, a little bit of the white. So let's see if it works. Let's see if it works. Closer get. Now of course you have track IR, you can kind of make tiny little adjustments like so. It seems to be working. This guy is getting Go inside, go inside. Yep. So of course you can pick 4 if you want, but I just wanted to demonstrate with these 2 guys only, because I will then move to the one that I actually use, and that's what I was talking about. You might want to tilt it up a little bit, and the same thing, don't raise it too high. Your traveling position like this should give you enough clearance so that you don't hit the big bags on the ground, and if it's kind of dangling like it is, just move slowly. And same idea here. Now if you can't see where the trailer is going, you lift it, where the telehandler is going, you lift it, and once again I'm using the reference point for the center. And with this particular telehandler and fork trailer, when the steering wheel is touching here, it's more or less I'm more or less close to the trailer, like so. So I have to be super careful. If I need to move forward or backward, I will kind of extend the arm rather than move forward. So here, just because you're not going to pick the bags exactly at the same distance inside the forks, I like to use those whatever they are called, openers, the yellow things here. Just drop them and see where they sit. Okay, so if I wanted to load them efficiently, I will kind of put them as close to the other side as possible. So just eyeballing, and it seems to be okay, sitting at a good position. Once again, like I said, I'm not used to those big bags, but once I get, and there is. Okay, so if I drop it exactly where it is, so even if you're not used to something, if you have your theory down, okay, it will work. Okay, that was just a little demonstration. If you are using the default one, which I'm not, so I will show you what I'm using, because it makes farming, especially the seeding process, so much realistic. You buy wheat big bags or pallets, you get only wheat seeds, and you cannot change, you know what I mean, from wheat to any other fruit seed as in the default one. So there you go. Now this one is a little bit tricky to use, because as you will see, you can't see the tool itself. You have to use reference points, maybe more than the others, once you have the implement attached. Okay, let's attach it first, and then okay, let me just put the parking brake. I will show you where you get it. So where do you get it? I believe it's in tools, miscellaneous. There it is. So it's called well, it's called long big bag lifter. Even if it's called long, I'm gonna lift only 2 of those bags with it. And of course you want to kind of choose where it is. Where did you go? Oh, there you are. Attach type. Of course, you want to select telehandler and the color. I like to choose bright colors when possible, so that in case I'm working at night, I can see better. But it's just personal preference. So now you know where to get them. But the tricky part, as I said, is to know where when they are horizontal. So if you kind of lower the implement completely, then it's going to be aligned with, in this particular telehandler, with those 2 lights here. Now it's more or less horizontal, but if you lift it a little bit like this, okay, just past the dashboard here, as soon as it disappears, more or less, once again. So you based on your telehandler, and if you are lifting it as high as this, now there will be you see that little gray line here. If it's tilted, you will see more of it. If it's down, you won't see it at all. So as soon as I have that little just a one thin line. So those are the few reference points that I'm using when working with this implement. So release parking brake first, of course. There you go. So I remember to put reverse gear this time, but I forgot to remove parking brakes. And we will pick the one in front, the big bags in front. And the tricky part here, as you will see, is you don't see the implement, so you have to really guess where the long how you call this. So alignment is crucial here. So you want to come a little bit to the right, so that when you get closer, you will be centered like so. And what I've found that works is the center, or where the fork or that pointy thing, that pole is more or less aligned with this thing here. So this is what I'm gonna use. Okay, so as long as I have center and as long as this one is here, now I will make minor corrections. Just see how it goes. I'm hitting something. Maybe I should move a little bit more to the right. Okay, in case I'm not sure. Okay, I was kind of aligned, it's just the distance. So put it like so. Okay, let's use the reference. So it has to kind of that gray part. Let's try to do this, that gray part. The big bag I'm used to, about not the implement. I just got it, so there you go. Should be getting inside a tad down. There you go. So what's the reference point? Let's move backward. Oh, I believe I can see it now. Why was I not able to see it before? Anyway, so I'm just gonna pick two. Let's lift and see if I'm picking two of them. Bad guys, yes. So I reverse slowly, because those are bigger bags, high enough so that I can see. Okay, just make sure I'm not hitting the trailer at the back. And there you go. And these babies, they will kind of, that's why I picked only two, because of their size. Now I'm just putting it on the trailer. It's not like I'm putting it in an orderly way to kind of properly load the. Okay, now I'm using that front arm and that steering wheel. You remember the distance, but because you won't be picking the big bags at the same distance every time, so I guess I can go a little bit forward, a little bit more forward from based on the size, and there you go. You can't put more than two, so that's why I picked two. Now as you can see, these guys extend, but since I'm working on with only two of them, there you go. Okay, so now when I will be lowering, okay, once again, let me see, I can move it a little bit down more. So once I clearly see the metal part, that's what I'm gonna use as reference when I will be unloading. So back up. Okay, I'm just gonna move around so that I come back again. I'm even going to move this up so that I do the necessary corrections and adjustments. Let's come from the other side this time. Okay, so first thing is traveling distance, and I'll put out my fork here, aligned. Oh, don't freeze on me, man. That's one thing. Second thing. Oh, and by the way, I'm not using force feedback anymore because I kind of get I kind of keep losing force feedback, and I have to alt tab to the Logitech, the G Hub or whatever it's called. But the problem is when I get back into the game, it lags. Madonna, non è facile. Okay, I'm speaking Italian now. Okay, so that was the reference point for the height. Now we'll just use, you know, the reference point for the center. And I guess I can, yes, if I lean forward, I can get into it. Now use that mirror, or you know, the steering wheel itself to know. Okay, there you are. So now when you will be placing your first, you probably already guessed it, I would call it the pole, it extends. So you want to make sure you don't go all the way, and let's see by how much it extends. By that much. And as you can see, it's not by much, so I will just lower, reverse, just, oh nice. It's not, just look at the wheel, you know, if it's centered, reverse a little bit and pick it up. Once again, I'm not kind of working here, it's just for demonstration purposes. Even if it does not go exactly where I would want it to go. There you go, more or less, and you just drop. And reverse. There you go. So those are two major operations you are going to do with the telehandler. We are going to be covering bell loading in the next videos. I thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next training video in the telehandler, where we'll be learning how to load bales. Thank you. Bye bye.